Bruyne's corner. Holland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. How's everyone doing? Game week 23, so it's the game week. It's a Christmas Eve game week, right before the double game week, of course, in 24. Later deadline today as well, obviously. The deadline is 1:30, so the first games today are 3 o'clock. So technically, those are the early games. Loads of games on at 3, so maybe we'll get some leaks and so on. Probably will. I know Liverpool are really popular this week because they've got the double next and they've got a nice fixture this week home to Liverpool. So we'll see if we get something on Liverpool. Welcome all to the stream. My sound's cutting. It's lagging. Oh no. Is it doing it now? Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? The intro was. I think I know why. I'm going to fix that for the next stream. It's because, you know, like the intro here, this thing. Oh, I shouldn't have gone back to it. All of those are like GIFs I made. Because the idea I had was if I can swap in GIFs as a slideshow, I can swap them in and out as and when. But I think what happens is it gets overloaded trying to load, you know, like 50 GIFs simultaneously. Anyway, so I think that's why that's doing that. So I'm going to fix that for the next stream. Glad it's alright now anyway. Delayed from the video. Everyone close the stream and enter again. I'll turn this down a bit. It's been a while since we've had technical issues. We used to have them every stream, but hopefully it's alright now. Welcome to the stream, British, Pranesh, Ray, Ostri, FPL Boofy, Peter, Karam E, Joe Jackson, Rohan, Martin, Mikey Lutho. Good to see so many members in the chat as well. A lot of green usernames there. So welcome all of you to the stream. It's good now. Alright, excellent. Awesome. So yeah, we're live for the next couple of hours, all the way to the deadline. What moves are you guys making this week? What's everyone doing with their team? Are you guys rolling to take another transfer into the double, or are you making a move early? Lilo asks, what's the best front three, Oscar? Well, Isak's the obvious one. Even with those rough fixtures, I think you've got to have Isak. And then who? I think it depends on if you like Gakpo as a pick. I think Gakpo's really solid, but I mean, I've been talking about him lots in videos this week. The safe or boring picks are Alisson and, you know, your Van Dijk or Konate. Whereas someone like Gakpo playing striker is like massive upside. But not completely nailed. Like, it's not out of the question for Luis Diaz and Darwin to start in the front three. Might not happen at all, but it's possible. Obviously, Jota's out as well, so that's good in the sense of him looking a bit more nailed. What was that? Isaac late fitness test apparently been unwell. Are you joking? Oh god, I cannot afford anyone to miss out this week. Because my bench is Strand Larson, who's got Arsenal. I've got Colwell against City. And I've got Greaves against Liverpool. So my bench is washed. Like, if anyone misses out, I'm in trouble this week. I've got 2 transfers, so like if there's a leak, someone misses out that's a reliable leak, then I might have to make a couple of transfers. Orm says, how's it going, Oscar Dino? I'm doing well, thank you, mate. I'm doing well. Just need to decide what to do for the double Gameweek 24. My current thoughts are, I can flick over to here. I might do Strand Larson, Calvert-Lewin. I might get. Is anyone else looking at Calvert-Lewin? He's only 5.4 mil. Like, I could bench him, and then maybe Raya to Allison. So that's another doubler. And then I don't know about the third. Maybe Gordon to Bumo and Bumo, because he's home to Spurs, and then he's got West Ham, Leicester, Everton. DCLU. I know, but he's cheap, isn't it? And he's got a double, and one of the games is Leicester home. And maybe there's a bit of new manager bounce we can expect there. Maybe there won't be. Moyes back at Everton. Jan says DCL no way ever again. Yeah, but I didn't go DCL earlier in the season, so I've not gone through that pain and suffering that I know those of you went DCL went through. So for me, it's not a sore wound. Like, I'm ready to hurt. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that, and then obviously I can just bench him. Like, I think also the difference is I could just bench him. I think people who bought him earlier in the season were starting him every week, weren't they? Because he had that one good game, Game Week 3. He got a goal and assist against Bournemouth. Then he scored against Villa, and it was like, oh, that's pretty good. He's got 3 returns in the opening 4. And then, God, look at that. He didn't score. Maybe I shouldn't get him. FPL fella, morning gorgeous. Start Robinson or Kirkes. So Robinson's home to Man United. Kirkes home to Forest. That seems pretty close, that, doesn't it? I mean, Robinson's playing a worse side right now, so I'd just say Robinson on that basis. Oh, it's lagging again. Okay, hang on. 1 second. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to kill this slideshow entirely. See if that fixes it. I feel like that might. Let me just go over to Task Manager. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. See, the problem was it was sitting at like 90% memory usage, and now I've killed that. It's at 25%. Is it better now? Still lagging? Are you serious? I'm just going to check, I want to hear how it sounds. Oh, bloody Deliveroo ad. Testing, hello, 1, 2, 3. Sounds alright to me. Better now. Okay, I know what to do. I'm going to press stop stream and then immediately restart. Hang on. Yeah, it's alright now. And if anyone's got a laggy stream still, let me know. But I think that sorted it. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was the computer was struggling. It's because I had this slideshow at the beginning where it plays like the animation graphics. Need to pay your bills. It's a computer problem. I've just fixed it now. I've removed it. It should be completely sorted now. Sorry, everyone. Sorry about that. That's terrible. But we're all good now. So, yeah, captaincy. So, Palmer in it says, I'm torn between Isak and Salah captain. I think it... I mean, I was wrong last week, wasn't I? But not many people were right. It was just the Wood captain as last week. I think Salah's better than Isak. But let's stick a poll up. Who's your captain? Isak, Salah, and then I guess just other, because I don't even know who the third would be this week. Alright, poll is up. Surely not Gakpo, captain. I've not heard anything on Isak. I mean, that's news to me, so it's probably someone's made it up to troll that he's a late test of a bug. Maybe there's truth to it. I don't know where that's come from. Trent, captain. Yeah, not a bad shout. Lagging again. I might have to just kill the stream. I don't know why it's doing that. Still lagging? Are you serious? I don't know why it's doing this now. Are you serious? But it sounds fine to me when I listen to it in my ear. I've unplugged the mic and plugged it back in. Maybe it was just not plugged in properly. That's what I can find. This is a coordinated troll. Fair play if it was. Like, it sounded fine to me on my phone, so I think we're alright. Everyone's saying it's good. Stop trolling. I'm only going to listen to people with green usernames now about lag, because I trust them. Or if any mods are here, you can just message me. Nev says it's alright. Okay. Yeah, alright, we're all good, we're all good. Alright, get your questions in the chat. I mean, technically, what is it? It's 11:30 now. Technically, the stream was only meant to start just now, but I went live early, so anyone that's just coming by now has no idea about the issues we've just had before reaching this point. Yeah, I'd scheduled it for 11:30, but it's a later deadline today, so I was just sitting around, like, ready to go. So I was like, screw it, let's just go live now. How we doing, Andre? Yeah, I wouldn't bench Palmer. I wouldn't bench Palmer. I know it's City away, but like, I wouldn't do it. Is that actually lagging again? Stop winding me up. Oh god, what have I done? I must have messed around with settings and broke something. Output, stream. That looks fine. Bitrate looks fine. Well, how is it lagging for some and not others? How does that make sense? It was definitely lagging. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to investigate that. Later on, I'll do a test stream, like unlisted, so that I can just listen to it back. But you guys have had no lag after reopening it, so maybe it's that. There shouldn't be... someone said they got adverts as well. What is going on? There should not be adverts. I intentionally switched that off. Oh yeah, I can check the stream health over here, can't I? Let's check. Apologies for the lag. It says excellent condition here, so I don't know what's going on. Not sure what's up with that. Right, there was a super chat from Kay, which I need to sneeze in a minute as well. God, this is the worst stream I've ever done. He said, GW23, is it worth selling triple Liverpool to enable slot assistant manager? Probably Alisson to get the boot and keep Salah and Trent. Love the content, by the way. Thanks very much. No, I wouldn't sell a Liverpool player to use the assistant manager. There's going to be other opportunities to use it. So this is a graphic from Johnny C. I don't know if you can see that just about. And it shows basically the possible doubles and blanks coming up. So there's a very small chance of a double Gameweek 25 for Fulham and Spurs. Gameweek 29 is going to be a blank for 2 fixtures. So it's looking like, at the moment, Villa versus Liverpool to blank and Newcastle versus Palace. Which means Gameweek 33 is going to be a small double game week, and I think that's an equally good opportunity. Maybe better, actually. Probably better than using it now, because of just how the fixtures have fallen. Like in game week 26, is it? I think Liverpool have got Man City, so you probably want to sell slot for that. Whereas game week 31 to 33, it's just this clean sweep of 3 fixtures to use it on slot. So I wouldn't do that, basically, to answer your question. Marcus, thanks for the 8 months. He says no lag. Do I start Elanga or Semenyo? Good luck all. Elanga or Semenyo? So Semenyo's got Forest home. And they're playing each other, aren't they? Elanga's away at Bournemouth. I mean, I would just favour the home fixture and go Semenyo. And he's actually doing well the last couple of games. Recently, actually. So if you go back the last 6, he's got 2 goals, 3 assists. So he's got 5 returns in his last 6. I would go Semenyo. Chris says, hi Oscar, would you start Eze or Rogers? Tough one. Eze or Rogers? I would go Eze. I get what you mean. They're both great picks. They're both playing home. But I would favour Eze. You know, he's got the... he might take some set pieces, free kicks. Probably not pens. Mateta's probably got pens, but I'd say Eze gets the edge there. João Pedro or Wood? I'm not sure about Wood. Like, I know he's been amazing recently, but he's also had some good fixtures. Like, do you guys not think with these upcoming fixtures there's better options than Wood? I'm considering selling him. Like, if there's a leak this game week that someone like, I don't know, Trent, it won't happen, but say Trent doesn't start, I'll probably sell Wood and then buy Konate for Colwell. That's probably what I'll do, as an example. So, I'm not sure about Wood. I don't know if I'll be buying him now. I think there's other options like Gakpo, Vissa, João Pedro even, for a bit cheaper. João Pedro or Semenyo from Dan. I would start João Pedro. Oh, Pranesh, thanks for becoming an FPL Focal member. Let me see if the confetti cannon is also lagging, or if that's working. Boom, go. Oh yeah, it works. Thanks, Pranesh, for becoming a member. Appreciate your support. João Pedro in the chat, he says, is it worth it to bench Foden or Palmer to João Pedro? Definitely not Palmer. Probably not Foden either on current form. No, probably not. I think you've got to start both Foden and Palmer over João Pedro. Kirkes or Mikalenko? If that's who to play this week, I'd start Kirkes. I'm not sure about Everton defence, I'll be honest. Like, I know people are looking at them for the double game week, but it's not going to be the same organised, boring defence that are going to just, you know, win games 1-0, 0-0 draws all the time. I think someone like Calvert-Lewin is where to go now. If McNeil wasn't injured, I think he'd be an option as well, but unfortunately he's looking like he's going to be out for a bit longer. He might have to get surgery even. Mamouche price, yeah, he's 7 million. Is anyone going there? I mean, surely not, Mamouche. Surely not. He's got to be a wait and see, especially with those fixtures. Clean sheet odds, yeah, here they are. From 11.05. So yeah, this is it. Like, Liverpool 51% chance, Arsenal 49%. So I'm looking at that and thinking I really don't need to go right to Alisson this week, based on 2%. And if I wait a week, then there might be other options that I want instead as my third Liverpool player. I might rather Van Dijk, Gakpo, Konate, maybe Luis Diaz. You know, like, imagine Darwin gets injured this game week, for example, or Luis Diaz gets injured, then I'm going to want one of the other attackers instead. So yeah, I'm going to leave it a week, and the current plan is to roll, unless there's any leaks that could change my plans completely. Arsenal second, then it's Brighton, Spurs, Bournemouth. Spurs 37%, that's a bit generous, surely. Novus, thanks for the super chat, says, hi Oscar, can you help me? In defence, 3 out of the 4, so Vardiel, Kirkes, Gabriel, Hall. Okay, midfield, forwards, 7 out of 8. So, okay, so defence first. So, Gabriel Hall definitely. So, Vardiel versus Kirkes. I'd probably go Kirkes over Vardiel. I think City concede. I'd be amazed if they keep a clean sheet. I mean, Bournemouth could as well, to be fair, but I feel like they're a bit likelier. For 7 out of 8, Ahmad, Salah, Palmer, Rogers, Gordon, Wood, Isak and Gakpo. So out of those 8, I would just bench Ahmad. Yeah, so you bench Vardy and you bench Ahmad. That makes sense to me. Is that a fake FPL Harry? Yeah, it's not got the verified check by his name, but fair play, good effort. Good effort, but yeah, not the real Harry. I mean, isn't he streaming as well? So why would he even be here anyway? Goran, thanks for the super chat. It says start Wissa or Wood and Munoz or Robinson. I'd start Munoz and I would start Wood. I mean, Wissa and Wood's a bit of a coin toss. Munoz, I think, slightly better than Robinson playing home to Brentford. And that makes sense as well, chasing the upside there, benching Wissa against Munoz. British, thanks for the 2 months. Says Marmouche Fi will surprise you, Bundesliga fan here. Yeah, I was on the FPL show yesterday and we were talking about him. And yeah, his record's insane. He's got like, it's like 15 goals, 10 assists in 17 league games. So yeah, we'll have to see if he can adapt to the Premier League and carry that form across and what his minutes will be like. But yeah, he's got to be a wait and see for now, I think, for 7 mil. Simon says, Oscar, would you use the assistant manager in Gameweek 24 if you've already used the triple captain? I'm probably going to save it. I'm looking at Gameweek 31 now, which looks a bit better. Assuming that Liverpool knock Spurs out of the League Cup, which they're favourites to do, you'd say that that probably happens, even though they're 1-0 down, right? Liverpool play Spurs at Anfield, 1-0 down. If they knock them out, then Liverpool double in 33. So if that happens, it would be Fulham away, West Ham home, Leicester away, and then that Gameweek 29 blank moves into 33. So then it'll be Villa away as well. So Fulham away, West Ham home, Leicester away, and Villa away. That on paper is slightly better than the run from 24. Bournemouth away, Everton away, Wolves home, City away. Unless you want to spend a transfer there. So yeah, current plan for me is to save it now. But we'll see. Like, there's a chance Spurs get a double game at 25 announced. If that happens, it'll be tempting to just use a chip just in case they get that double. Because you could use it on back-to-back double game weeks then, which would be quite powerful. Razan, thanks for the 24 months, 2 years. He says Gabriel to Trent or Colwill to Trent and Bruno to Eze. I prefer the second one. I'm not a big fan of selling Arsenal defence. I do get it. Like, Trent's an amazing pick for the next few game weeks, right? Ipswich home, double game week, Wolves home. He's almost essential, but I won't use that word because I know we don't like the word essential, but he's nearing that because he just brings so much more than the other Liverpool defenders. Like Robinson and Tsimikas could rotate. Van Dijk doesn't have that goal threat in the same way. But I wouldn't want to sell Gabriel because he's got Wolves this week. I know City's not great, but then Leicester, West Ham, the fixtures aren't bad. So I'll do the second one. Thanks for the 2 years of support as well. Appreciate that. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, I'll put those up for a sec. Chris says, okay then, Oscar, would you start... Oh, confetti went off. Would you start Wood or Rodgers? I would start Wood. Gotta be Wood. I mean, he scored for 4 games in a row. Why does that keep going off? Oh no, I've broken the confetti as well now. The stream's an absolute disaster, but thank you for being here. What was the question? Wood or Rodgers? Yeah, I'd go Wood. Like, he's in form. I know he's playing away at Bournemouth, but I'd go Wood. And he's on pens. Rodgers or Ahmad to start from Zorro. I'd start Rodgers, Zorro, between those two. Anurag says, hi, I had Gabriel, Colwill, Hall, Rico, Greaves, Salah Palmer, Ahmad Semenyo, Sarr, Haaland, Wood and João Pedro with 3 free transfers and already did Haaland and Rico to Isak and Trent. Nice, good moves. And you've got 1 free transfer of 2.6. Also bench 1 out of Semenyo, Ahmad, João Pedro and Wood. I would bench... It's between Semenyo and Ahmad. I'd probably bench Ahmad, just about. But would I use a transfer, though, to sell one of those? Let's have a look. So you've got Woodjar, Pedro. I don't think I would. I think you can leave it a week and then decide what to do. So you've got Trent, Salah. You've only got 2 Liverpool, haven't you? So if you leave it a week, you could decide next week whether to use that 2.6 on Gakpo or sort one of the other defenders out, like, you know, Greaves up to Konate or Colwell to Konate, Colwell to Van Dijk. I think you can afford to leave it a week. That's what I would do. Yeah. Good moves. I would have done the exact same thing. If you've got Haaland, I think it's an opportunity now to downgrade him and get Trent, Isak, those guys, if you've not got them. Gakpo as well, of course. Do any of you listen to The Wire? On the fantasy show yesterday, Late Riser was on with me, and that's what he's doing. He's got Haaland, actually, and he's selling him for Gakpo, and then he was selling one of his defenders to Trent. Right to Alisson for free. I don't know if I'd do it. I could do that this week, and I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna buy myself a week. Because, alright, let's say hypothetically, Fabianski gets benched this game week, and I've already gone right to Alisson. Well, then suddenly I don't have a keeper for Game Week 29. If I go back over to this. So these are the Game Week 29 odds here. So Aston Villa versus Liverpool. There's about a 30% chance of that game going ahead. So that's what puts me off Alisson a bit. And maybe I'll end up going Konate, but I'm going to just leave it a week. As I say, unless there's a leak that one of my players is benched and I have to make a move, I'm just going to roll this week and then reassess. Because that could happen. Like, Fabianski could just be benched this week for Areola, and then I'm not so sure if I'd go Alisson next week then, because I'll be potentially keeperless in Game Week 29. If that makes sense. Best replacements for Saliba. I mean, Trent, if you haven't got him. I think doubling up Konate, Van Dijk's good. Is Vardy will sell? Yeah, I'd sell Vardy if I had him with those fixtures. I've got a pretty brutal run coming up. Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Spurs, Forest. About as bad as fixture runs go, so yeah, I'd sell him if I had him. Where'd I get to? Nat to 1, thanks for the 2 months. Says who to bench, Martinelli or Rodgers? My Arsenal bias is telling me to start Martinelli, but Wolves are terrible as well. Like, it's a better fixture. I'd probably start Martinelli, but I'm not sure if that's my Arsenal bias. Who would you guys start, Martinelli or Rodgers? Oh, doorbell. I think Martinelli. He's playing against the worst opponent. Gaby's looking better at the moment as well, yeah. Yeah, Sterling's just not it. He's been terrible. It's pretty divided. Actually, I think most people are saying Rodgers. But you guys saying bench Rodgers or start him? You're saying who you'd start him? Yeah, I suppose he's better for minutes as well. Start Rodgers. Dimitri says, opinions on Isak triple. No, triple captain has to be used in the double game week, really. Now that we've got an extra double for Liverpool. There's no reason not to. Use it next week. Like, you're gonna... It just makes so much more sense to use it in a double game week now that we've got an extra double. Earlier in the season, it was a different conversation, but now that Liverpool double next week, plus there's a double in 33 and 36, it just makes sense to use it in a double. Because everything gets doubled, like the appearance points, clean sheet points, you know, on Salah if he keeps one, and that's before he's even got returns. So, nah, I would use it personally next week on Salah, not Isak now. Even if you're using it this week, I think Salah's a better captain. Dean says, got 2 free transfers, Sarr to Mbumo or Roll. Already got triple Liverpool. So maybe a little bit sideways this week. Obviously they're facing each other. Sarr's got the home fixture. I think I'd probably just do that next week. It's a tiny upgrade this week, I would say, but not significant. Yeah, I'd be inclined to roll Dean. And depending on your team, that extra transfer could come in really handy next week. But I think buying Mbumo is the right plan. Like, I'm almost certainly going to buy Mbumo in Gameweek 24. And I'll probably sell Gordon for him. Maybe Bruno, but probably Gordon, because Gordon's fixtures start to look a bit rough, and Mbumo's home to Spurs next game week. God, I'm well behind. Let me catch up. Stoic Meditations, thanks for your super chat as well. So you are start Robinson or Gabriel? Gabriel, 100%. 100% Gabriel. I know Robinson's got like 9 assists, but some of those assists. No, Gabriel, in my opinion. Way better clean sheet odds. SS3 Goben says, I'm thinking about Sarr and Jackson to Wissa and Mbumo. Jackson simply must go. And Sarr's turned out to be the poor man's Eze. Thoughts? So, yeah, I agree with selling Jackson. But do you need to do Sarr to Mbumo? It's the same question that Dean was asking, basically. It's a slight upgrade, that's the thing. It's a slight upgrade, I'd say, Sarr to Mbumo this week. I'd probably just leave it a week and then do it next week. But if you've had enough of Sarr, then fine. But if it was me, I'd probably just give Sarr one more week, give him the home fixture, and then buy Mbumo. Mark says, hi everyone, start 3 out of the following. Minimum of 1 defender. Aina, Lewis, Munoz, Sarr, Elanga, Cunha. Best of luck to you all. So out of those, I would start Munoz. So that's the defender covered. I definitely wouldn't start Cunha. He's got Arsenal. And I'm not even sure if he'll start, given the rumours of him wanting to leave. So I'd start Sarr. And the last one, Elanga versus Aina. I'd probably go with the attacker and start Elanga. So Munoz, Sarr and Elanga. Start those 3. FPL Apprentice says, morning pal, hope you're well. I am well, although I did see you forgot the thumbnail on your last video, and it's not in 1080p, so you've gone back to where you were. Freak says, Wood or Bruno, who to start? Bruno's so annoyingly hit and miss. Like, he's got it in him to just go massive, but he's also got it in him to just ghost. But last game, it was a good example of the value of pen takers, and obviously in this case, Wood and Bruno both on pens. I felt like Bruno didn't do much last match, and I felt quite lucky to get, was it 8 points? Where's the music gone? Oh, there we go. Wood or Bruno? Probably Wood. They're just a way better team right now, aren't they, Forest, as opposed to Man United? He's in more form. It makes sense to me. Are any City players worth buying? I'm not tempted by any personally. I'd like to see how Marmoush gets on for the next 5 or so game weeks, but they've got such a terrible fixture run. Like Foden, if you just want to ignore the fixtures, and if he carries on his form, he'll be an amazing differential. Like, he smashed it recently. But nah, I'm not tempted by any City players myself right now. Stoic Meditation says start 2 out of Robinson, Gabriel and Rodgers. I would start Gabriel and Rodgers, Stoic. Like, I know Robinson's got something like 9 assists, but some of those assists have been ridiculous. Like, did anyone see that game where 2 of his assists were just passes on the touchline to Iwobi, Iwobi whipped across him, and in both crosses, the target like failed to get a touch on it, and it just went straight in. So technically, that was a Robinson assist. There's been a few like that, like just like how is he getting all these assists? It's not sustainable. Gabriel and Rodgers for me. Start the attacker and start the defender with a better clean sheet odds. FPL Mind, and thanks for your super chat as well. Bench Fernandez or Rodgers? I'm playing Robinson in defence. I would still start Bruno over Rodgers, I would say. Yeah, I wouldn't bench the pen taker. Start Bruno. Even if it means a midfielder versus defender. Like it happens sometimes. It is what it is. Kill Switch as well, thanks for the super chat. Message retracted. Who's likely your third Liverpool player, mate? It's going to probably be Alisson or Konate. One of those two. But I'm going to roll this week and then just see what happens. Like, if one of the Liverpool attackers gets injured, then that probably changes my plan because the other ones will be nailed. Like if Darwin picks up a knock this week, then Gakpo and Diaz look incredible all of a sudden. I mean, they're still amazing picks, don't get me wrong. Just a little bit riskier for minutes. Whereas right now, although it's boring, I think Konate and Alisson are quite nice picks just because you know they're going to play. I mean, Konate, maybe not Konate, but I listened back to what Slot said in his press conference, and there was a bit that got lost in translation. People were tweeting that he said he can't play 3 times a week, but actually what Slot was saying was before he wasn't able to, and he's now getting up to speed to the point where he can play 3 a week. So that's quite a promising quote. I think it's gone massively under the radar. He's only 5.1 mil, Konate. And on top of that, Liverpool have got a good chance of blanking in Gameweek 29. So if I went right to Alisson and Fabianski loses his spot, then I've got no keeper for Gameweek 29. Whereas Arsenal are very likely to play in Gameweek 29 unless they overcome the 2-0 deficit against Newcastle in the second leg. So as it stands, like keeping Raya looks quite nice as well. So yeah, it could go either way, that one. Inti CFC says Aina, Kirkes and Hall. Pick 2 on a wildcard long term. I'd go Kirkes, Hall. I mean, Aina, I know he's doing really well. Like I think he's top scoring defender maybe even, but the fixtures are a bit meh. He's pretty overpriced. Like, isn't he 5.4, 5.5? So I just think, is he worth that much now? When you've got like Milenkovic for like 4.8, for example, you could buy later. I'd probably just swerve the Forest defence on a wildcard now with those fixtures and then go back to them later. I think they end the season with nice games, do they not, Forest? Yeah, I mean, look at that. From Gameweek 29 onwards. So I think it makes sense to swerve for the next 6 and then look at who to get for Gameweek 29-ish onwards. That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, if Forest are going to be in the Champions League, do you think they do it? Kill Switch said Wissa or Ahmad to start. Wissa or Ahmad? I really like Wissa and I kind of want to buy him, so I'd probably go Wissa between those two. It is close, but I don't know. Is Ahmad going to play right wing back again? It's a funny one though, isn't it? Because like that's been a talking point of Ahmad and how it, it potentially affects him negatively when he's playing right wing back as opposed to a 10. But I think he got that hat trick playing right wing back, didn't he? Against Southampton, I think. But yeah, I think Wissa out of those two. Salah says Diaz or Gakpo or Virgil. If I had to pick one right now, I'd say Virgil. Just because this season I'm trying to buy players that are better for expected minutes. And it's worked pretty well, to be fair. In past seasons, I'd be all over these players that aren't nailed. Like Luis Diaz, Gakpo. There's only been one time this season where I've deviated from that, and that was buying Luis Diaz, and he went on to immediately get benched. So I'm trying to play slightly differently this season to see if it does improve how I finish the season. And I'm just buying players that are reliable starters, and Van Dijk ticks that box, so I'd say Van Dijk. Still working through chat here, bear with me. Alexander says who to start, Wissa or Langer. I'd start Wissa, Alexander. Out of those two. Thanks for the super chat. And Chris also says he's done Gabriel and Solanke to Watkins and Munoz. What are your thoughts? I wouldn't have done that, Chris, personally. It's not terrible, though. Like, Watkins, he has got really nice fixtures. He is a bit under the radar. He is expensive as well, but I'm not sure about selling Gabriel, but if you've done it, fair play. I've got Munoz, so I hope it works out. Munoz is great as well, but I'm still not sure about selling Arsenal defence. I still think there's good value there. I mean, how many points? I just want to have a look at the Arsenal defenders here. Defenders. I mean, they're still right up there. Like, Gabriel's 5th top scoring defender. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Arsenal defence is getting a lot of hate, but actually over the season, it's still doing well. Like, if he keeps a couple of clean sheets in a row, before you know it, he's 2nd or 3rd top scoring defender. It's like, what more can you ask for, really? Not a terrible set of moves, though. I probably wouldn't have done it myself, but I hope it works out, Chris. Mo says, hi Oscar, 5 free transfers. You're doing Jackson to Gakpo. You have Castagna starting versus Colwyn on the bench. Defender transfer this week is to bench Castagna and keep until Gameweek 29. Yeah. Which defenders though? I mean, depends how much money you've got, Mo. I think Kanate is a nice option if you haven't got triple Liverpool after buying Gakpo. Who else is there? Hall is good, but obviously he's got City and Liverpool in game week, what is that, 25 and 27? So you just got to plan around those 2 weeks. But, sorry, Newcastle have a chance of blanking in 29 though, so maybe not Hall. Let's check the odds again on the blanks. Yeah, so it's Newcastle and Palace, 19% chance of that game going ahead. So that rules Munoz out as well. I think it is what it is though. You've got 5 free transfers, so you're in a position where you can kind of just go for who's the best, and you're probably still able to navigate 29 well enough, or you could free hit then. Just trying to think who you'd get though. If you can afford a Liverpool defender, then I'd do that, Mo. Is there anyone else? I still think Arsenal defence is good value. I still think they'll be good. Like, I think Gabriel will be like 1st or 2nd top scoring defender by Gameweek 38. I'll go on the record and say that. It's not the end of the world though if you have to play Castagna. I just can't think of someone to buy that, because you're talking about 29, but the good options blank are likely to blank at 29. That's the problem. Like Hall, Kanate, Munoz. So I probably wouldn't overthink it too much, especially with 5 free transfers. Pinners Rack says, if you had Foden, would you go to Mbumo? I'd probably leave it 1 more week, Pinners, just because of his current form, and next week is when Mbumo really looks appealing, when he's home to Spurs. Like this week away at Palace, it's not bad, but I think Foden with his current form, and Chelsea's, you know, kind of dip in form recently. Like Foden, 2 goals, 1 assist, 2 goals, a goal, an assist, blank, assist. So he's on 6 goals, 2 assists in 6 games, 8 returns in his last 6. So I'd probably leave it a week, Pinners, and then make the switch. Bertman, thanks for your super chat. Says Raya, Ward, Cobble, Trent, Hall, Castagna, Munoz, Sarr, Palmer, Salah, Gordon, Dibbling, Solanke, Isak, Cunha. 3 free transfers, 1.1 million in the bank. Solanke to Gakpo, Dibbling out's been suggested. Yeah, I was about to say the same. I'd go Solanke to Gakpo. How much can you afford with a Dibbling replacement though? Can you afford Kluivert? So Solanke and Gakpo about the same price. So 1.1 mil. Dibbling. Yeah, I think maybe Cliver looks like a good option. Is there anything else I'd do here? Palmer, Salah, Gordon. So you don't have to sell Dibbling. That's the thing, right? You don't have to, because you play Saar, Palmer, Salah and Gordon. Although you've got Cunha as well. Yeah, if you can afford it, I think Dibbling to Cliver looks quite good. I know he's got a couple of fixtures that aren't ideal, but he's long term, he's a really solid pick, right? He's on pens. He scored like 10 goals this season, hasn't he? Dango. Yeah, people are talking about Dango. I know he's 5 mil, but I'd much rather Cliver or Semenyo to Dango. But yeah, Solanke to Gakpo is good. Dibbling to Cliver. Don't know if you need to make the third transfer, to be honest with you. I would just keep the third and then decide next week what to do. I wouldn't sell Raya to Alisson next week though, because Ward obviously won't play, so you could be blanking. You could have no keeper in Gameweek 29, assuming Newcastle knock Arsenal out of the League Cup. El says bench one out of Ahmad, Robinson, Hall and Rodgers. I'd bench Robinson out of those. Start Hall, Southampton, Rodgers, West Ham. Ahmad, he's up against Robinson. I would just back Man United to score. Start the attacker. Carl says start two out of João Pedro, Raul, Robinson, Munoz and Saar. I would start João Pedro, home to Everton. And Raul's got Man United, Saar's got Brentford home. I'd probably start Raul and João Pedro. Just start the strikers and the pen takers. That makes sense to me, Carl. Start the strikers and the pen takers. Badlinu, thanks to your super chat, says not sure who to bench out of Rodgers, Ahmad and Mbumo. I'd definitely start Mbumo. I'd start Rodgers. So yeah, it'll have to be Ahmad on the bench. As good as he's been recently, that's what I would do. Like, he's away at Fulham, not necessarily an easy fixture. Like, for right now, Fulham are a better team than Man United. Rodgers has been great. He's home to West Ham as well. Boomer, you got to start him. Yeah, bench Ahmad. Aman says, hi Oscar, always love the content. Cheers. Should I start João Pedro or Jimenez this week? Out of those two, I'd start João Pedro. Again, I know João Pedro's been pretty frustrating recently. He was unlucky last game week. Like, he scored, but there was a foul from Van Heck in the build-up, so it got ruled out. You know, and he's playing home to Everton. I think there's goals in that game. I'd start João Pedro. 24k will day 229 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. Isaac potentially benched. I've not heard anything reliable on that. Nothing I've heard on that. I'll check a bit nearer deadline for leaks and so on, but there was that account Will that I've just seen tweeted. Isaac's been unwell this week, late fitness test, but that guy is unreliable. I think I've got him blocked even. Let me check. I'm pretty sure I've got him blocked because he made stuff up before. He was caught being... Yeah, I've got him blocked. He might be right, but the problem is I remember he said loads of stuff before and it was completely wrong. So in my books, he's just failed to establish himself as an in the know account. Like, how can you tweet stuff so confidently and be wrong? I can't remember what he said, but there was a whole thing about it. Like, I think he said like a couple of players would miss out or something like that, or he said like this is the lineup and it was wrong. Evan said he's been more wrong than right before. Yeah, if anyone else remembers, but I'd be really careful with that account. It could be true, but he's definitely been wrong about a lot. Like, I never ever block people on Twitter. Like, they could abuse me and I just don't care. I really don't care what people say. But if someone's like tweeting in the know stuff that's just blatantly wrong, I don't want to ever see it on my feed, so then I'll just block them. That's pretty much my block list is just in the know accounts that are just guessing, and I get like replies from bots that are like gambling bots. That is literally my block list. So yeah, I wouldn't have taken it lightly to block him, so I personally wouldn't pay attention to him, even if there's a chance he's right. A broken clock is correct twice a day. Is that the saying? Or is it once a day? Twice a day. Hi Oscar, awesome content. Would you start Ahmad or João Pedro? I would start João Pedro, Kim. Out of those. Alright, let's have a look at the scout selection. Let us know, how many of you got? How many of you got from the scout selection? They've gone Sells in goal. They've got Trent, Gabriel and Hall. Salah captain, Mbumo, Gordon and Rogers, Isaac, Havertz and Mateta. So I've got Trent, Gabriel, Salah, Gordon, Isaac. 6 for me. Saki's got 6. 5, 6 at 11, 6. Seems like most have got 6. Oh, it is twice a day. Thanks, Virtual. Anyone got more than 6? Ken and AB have got 4. So is Mr. Nobody. Yeah, pretty good team this week. I feel like I'd have Gakpo over Havertz, but I know Havertz has scored a couple of games in a row, hasn't he? Maybe someone else in goal. Can't have Dubravka though, triple Newcastle. By the way, if anyone's got Dubravka, Pope's almost back, so something to keep in mind. I think many of you have probably got him, but... Senya Lump, morning Oscar, wishing you a good game, love you. Thanks very much, Senya Lump. 7 with no transfers used, very nice. Got 7 as well. Kano says, start and bench order. Henderson, Fabianski, Trent, Gabriel, Milenkovic, Robinson, Vandenberg, Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Rogers, Ahmad, Isak, Wood and Gakpo. So start Henderson. Start Trent, Gabriel. Would I play Milenkovic against Bournemouth away or Robinson, Man United home? I'd probably play Robinson over Milenkovic, so that's the back 3. Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Rogers, Ahmad. So I'd play Salah, Palmer, Gordon, Rogers. I'd play Isak, I'd play Wood, play Gakpo, and I'd bench Ahmad. That's what I would do personally. So you bench, in a nutshell, you'd bench Milenkovic, Vandenberg, and Ahmad. Salah says, start Sarr or Semenyo. I would start Sarr, given he's got the home fixture. Oh, sorry, Semenyo's home as well, but he's got Forest. I mean, Sarr home to Brentford on paper is way better than Semenyo home to Forest, right? Forest have got the joint most clean sheets this season, so... yeah, I'd start Sarr. Has anyone else been trolled by Semenyo, though? He's been so unpredictable. Like, I've had him almost all the season, and he's... like, I benched him Game Week 10 against City, and he scores. I benched him in Game Week 17 against Man United, and he scores. I've only just started getting his points recently in my starting 11. But that all said, I'd start Sarr over Semenyo this week. John says, do I hold Watkins or sell this week? I mean, he's home to West Ham, right? And then he's got Ipswich as well coming up, hasn't he? Nah, you got to keep Watkins for now if you've got him. No reason to sell. Jackson to Gakpo. Yeah, I like that move, Farrell. I like that move. I think that'll be a popular move this week. Adam D, thanks for the $9.99 super chat. Wildcard active, he says. So Henderson and Flecken in goal. Trent, Gabriel, Munoz, Howson, Mikalenko, Salah, Palmer, Mbumo, Rogers, Cliver, Isaac, Mateta and Gakpo. Goalkeepers are for the long term. And bench boost in Game Week 25. My team was bad. Overall ranks 560k. Why Game Week 25, Adam? So I would save your bench boost. I probably wouldn't aim to use it 25 personally. But maybe you've seen something I've not. But I'd rather use it in a double game week. I wonder if I can load it here. FPL.team. on FPL.team, they've got this ticker thing here, and you can load the projected fixtures. And is that going to fit? It sort of does. It's not great. And you can see the projected double game weeks here. So, for example, game week 33, Villa, Bournemouth, Palace, Liverpool. Is that Man United and Newcastle? So I think it's easy enough to get 10, 11, 12, 13 players that double and bench boost that week, or use it in 36 where we've got Aston Villa, is that Chelsea, Everton, Liverpool, Man City and Spurs could double in 36. I would save it for then, the bench boost personally. But in terms of the team you've picked, can you afford Kirkes over Howsam? I'm guessing not. Other than that, it's a nice team. I'm not sure about the keepers though. That's the only thing I'm not sure on looking at this. Henderson and Fleckham. But yeah, other than that, it's a really nice wildcard. Like, you've covered all the right players. That's really all I would think about changing. The goalkeepers. Like, why not chuck in Pickford, for example, just for the double, if you're going to go 2 playable keepers. The rest is great, though. I'd pretty much have the same wildcard. The only thing is, I prefer, like, Kanate, Van Dijk, Alisson over Gakpo, but I think Gakpo's really good as well, and I can understand going there on a wildcard. But yeah, it's a good team. That's the only things I would change, really. Drawing Dead says, good luck this week, Oscar. Good luck to you as well. What transfers has everyone made this week? Anyone rolling? Captain Poll results, 84% Salah, 14% Isak, and 3% other. So let's do a poll then on Game Week 24 chips. So go triple captain, assistant manager, other, and none. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Geek Cypriot says, big up your work, mate. Martinelli or João Pedro? I would start João Pedro. He's playing home, he's on pens. I mean, Martinelli's great as well, but I'd probably start João Pedro. We had a similar one earlier, which I think was Martinelli and Rodgers, and I said Rodgers just about. Yeah, that's a good point, Evan. No Spurs and the scout selection. I probably would have chucked in Son somehow. I probably would have put Richarlison over Havertz even. Raccoon says Ahmad, Robinson, Jackson, Enzo, or Munoz. Is this just one of those to play? If I had to pick one of those, I think it'd be Munoz. Munoz with the home fixture, yeah. Munoz. Struggling with this game says, hi Oscar, I have to start one of Lewis, Colwell and Greaves. 1 free transfer, use it on Rico or roll for next game week. Also bench headache between Rodgers and Pedro. So I'd start João Pedro over Rodgers. In terms of the defenders, it just depends how much money you've got in the bank. That's the only thing. And in terms of who you can afford. Because Rico, what is he now? Like 4.5 or something? There's not many places you can go with that much. Unless you've got the money in the bank. Like if you can afford Munoz, for example. I think he's great. That's where I would go with Rico. But yeah, it depends how much money you've got. It's not the end of the world if you have to play him. But yeah, I'd rather sell him if you can. No worries, Raccoon. Start Robinson or Aina? Aina. I think Robinson's going to regress to the mean. Like, he can't keep getting these clean sheets, these assists out of nowhere. I mean, Look at his underlying data this season. He's on, what is it? Is that 2.9 expected assists, and he's got 9 assists. 9 assists from 2.9 expected assists. Like, what the hell is that? Right, guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer this game week? It was Clivert last week. Let's do King of the Game Week for Game Week 23. Not sure if anyone got Clivert last week, but well played if you did. Get your guesses in the chat. Who's it going to be for Game Week 23? I'll put the fixtures on screen as well for a sec to help you guess. Who's going to be King of the Game Week for 23? Cunha, Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Trent, Salah, Rogers, Clivert. Richarlison's a good shout, Hassan. I love the Richarlison shout. I'll go Richarlison as well. I'm actually going to back you on that one. It's always a random player. Not always, but often. Like last week. Like, who saw Clivert come in 22 points away at Newcastle? Salah, Gibbs White, Son. Son's a good shout as well. Gordon, Marmoush. Surely not. Waka says 1 free transfer, Wood to Gakpo, or Ahmed plus 3.5 mil to which mid? Who's Ahmed? Who's Ahmed? Which player is that? Ahmad? Toffolo. Just trying to think who is. Do you mean Ahmad? Oh, he means Ahmad. Ahmad and 3.5 mil. Does Wood to Gakpo block you doing Ahmad to Mbumo? Oh, didn't need to click that. So Mbumo's 7.8. What's Ahmad? 5.6. I think you can just about afford both, can't you? I like Wood to Gakpo. Yeah, just double check I've worked that out right. That you can do Ahmad to Mbumo next game week. If you haven't got Mbumo, that is. Maybe you've got him already. Yeah, I think that's fine. Wood to Gakpo. Like, he was benched in the Champions League as well. Plus Jota's out, so I think Gakpo is a solid option. I'm personally looking to go one of the defenders like Alisson or Konate. Probably not Van Dijk, because I can't afford him. If I could afford him, I would definitely go Van Dijk, but I think Konate probably plays both in the double. Plus this week. What's the most points you've ever got in a game week? I don't know, actually. Good question. I think I've got something like 170 before. Going back a few years. Can anyone remember what the most they've ever got is? I think it must have been something like that. It might have been that week where someone got, was it 220? Someone set the all-time record of like 220 points. This is going back a while now. It was like 2016 or something. 226, that was it. I did a video on it, and I even like remade it with update graphics, which are now not updated and they're outdated. So I've got 226 bench boosting. That's the all-time record for points. So it might have been around then. It might have been that week I got it. So, which in comparison is like crap compared to the all-time record that week, but still very good. Just checking if Waka said anything. Ahmad, you meant Ahmad, yeah, okay. Would I do Wood to Gakpo though this week? Oh. See, I could do that move myself, Waka, that's the thing, and I'm not. But I'm not, that's the thing. But it really depends, like, I think it's pretty divided, Gakpo or double defense. I like double defense more, personally. Turn the music down, sorry, let me turn it down a bit. It is quite loud, actually. There we go. Real to Gakpo I like more, which is what Daniel's doing. But Wood to Gakpo, not so sure about that. Do you really sell Wood when he scored, what, 4 games in a row, plus 2 assists? I know Gakpo's home to Ipswich. I don't know. I think I'd probably buy myself another week and then decide which Liverpool player to go. Morning Flames, how we doing? I think I'd leave it a week, Wacker, honestly, and just buy yourself an extra week of information. Scatman says Gakpo might only play one in the double, whereas Alisson plays both. Turn on some Kygo. Banger music. Tush on those. This is the song that I made. Clean sheet odds. Yeah, let me bring those up. From 11 thanks everyone, by the way, for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the stream so far. If you have, make sure you hit subscribe. I do these streams every week and make FPL videos. How many are watching right now? How many have we got here? Is there over 1,000? Yash says, oh, I'm well behind on chat. Yash says Cunha to Gakpo and Gabriel to Trent. Also, who to bench, Rodgers or Bruno? Is there any other way you can get to Trent, Yash? Cunha to Gakpo, I would do, 100%. But Gabriel to Trent, I don't hate it. If he's your only route to Trent, then I would do it. Yeah, if he's your only route. Almost 2,000. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I would do it if he's your only route to Trent, but I'm not a massive fan of selling Gabriel. Like, he's got Wolves, Leicester, West Ham in his next 4. Can you use another chip after using the assistant manager a week before that? What do you mean? While the assistant manager is active, you can't use any other chips, yeah. You can't use 2 chips in 1 week. So if you use the assistant manager, you're locked out of other chips for 3 weeks. So that needs to be considered as well whenever you activate it. Ahmed says, where can I show you my whole team as a news advice? Just put it in the message, Ahmed. That's the easiest way. You just put your team in the message itself. Because otherwise, when people send, like, I don't know, URLs or IDs, it's a bit messy. That's the only thing. Like, I want to make the streams as seamless as possible. So the best way, yeah, just put it in your message, like what everyone else is doing. Starboy McGee, thanks for the 19 months, says, hi, would you do Foden and João Pedro to Mbumo and Gakpo? It's one of those that this feels like that could go either way. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if João Pedro scores, given he's home to Everton, and Foden on current form. But Gakpo home to Ipswich. I think I'd leave it Starboy 1 week and then do that in Gameweek 24 instead. Personally. Feels a little bit sideways this week. Whereas obviously next week, Foden's got Arsenal. And João Pedro's fixtures not as good as well. And Mbumo's and Gakpo's are better. So I'd leave that a week. YM3H says Haaland and Bruno to Salah and Gakpo or Watkins. If Watkins, then I'll go for Diaz next game over Foden, Gakpo or Watkins, and Diaz next, looking for a 3rd spot. No, I think you've got it bang on there. I would go Salah and Gakpo, 100%. Gakpo over Watkins all the way. Like, Watkins has got great fixtures, but Gakpo, he's home to Ipswich, and he's got the double, then he's home to Wolves, and then you can decide what to do with him. Yeah, go Salah and Gakpo. You could do Foden to Mbumo next week if you've not got him. Dave Brown says, another bench headache. Ahmad or Semenyo. Mint stream as always, mate. Good luck this week. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Ahmad or Semenyo. So Semenyo home to Forest. Ahmad away at Fulham. I'd probably go Semenyo. It's a strange one. Like, he's playing better and more involved since the Evan Nilsson injury. I guess they're more reliant on him for the goal share percentage because the goals have to come from somewhere. So I think you got to keep playing Semenyo, especially when he's home. It is a bad fixture though, so it's close. But Fulham away is not exactly a good fixture for Man United either, especially in current form. I think Semenyo makes just about more sense, but it's a bit of a coin toss, that one, if I'm honest. I think I would start Semenyo. Milenkovic or Vardiol? I'd say Milenkovic. Sarta Kulu? Nah, I probably wouldn't buy Kulu. I know he's home to Leicester, but still. Yeah, that is really close, that one, Dave. I think Semenyo, probably just about. We're going to do a giveaway shortly, by the way. If anyone's not got the FPL Focal app, then go install it. It's free in the App Store. We're going to be giving away season premium membership, which gets you some nice perks like custom themes. You can customize the dashboard. You can also just use it on your browser. fpl.page is the URL. So we're going to give away 5 season memberships to you guys watching. I'll put a code on screen in a second. So make sure you install the app if you've not already. And if you want to get it ready to enter the code, then top left on the app and website, it says something like tap here to hide ads. So if you go to that, it'll take you to a page where you enter the code I'm about to put on screen, and whoever enters it first gets the season membership for free. Is the app down? Uh-oh, maybe we can't do it. Oh no, it is working. It took a second to load there. Oh, he said, wait. Okay. We won't do it yet. I'll give you like 30 seconds. And this is for the rest of the season premium, completely free on the FPL Focal app. If anyone's not got the app, it is free, and there's some cool widgets on there. Looks like that. You can get stuff like expected data, top 10k stats, fixture ticker tool, top transfers, clean sheet odds, all sorts. Alright, anyway, the code is that DGW season. So on the app on the top left corner, it'll say like click to hide ads. If you tap that, it takes you to a page where you can enter that code. Also, if anyone just doesn't get the code or wants to check it out, then it's completely free anyway for a month. So you can also get it that way. So you can just check it out for free anyway for a month if you want. That's the code, DGW season, double Gameweek season. There's 5 codes, so whoever enters those first gets the rest of the season completely free. We do giveaways every game week, so make sure you're subscribed for the giveaways. Let's see if they've been claimed yet. Wow, they went instant. Okay, they're gone. Let us know in chat if you got it. Congrats to whoever got those. We do them every game week anyway, so there'll be more to come, don't worry. Alright, let me catch up on chat. Where did I get to? Mr. Malley says, dear wise man, would you start Rodgers or Gabriel? Rodgers or Gabriel? This one's really close because Arsenal have got great clean sheet odds. He does have the odd goal on him, but Rodgers, he's got the home fixture. I'd probably lean towards starting the attacker and start Rodgers. No, you don't enter the code to enter the giveaway. You just enter the code on the app and then you redeem it straight away. Yeah, it's too late now. It's gone. They went like instantly. You have to be quick because they always go straight away. I'd start Rodgers, Mr. Malley, I would say. Like, if you don't have Raya, then you could make the case for starting Gabriel just to give yourself coverage against the Arsenal clean sheet. I think that's a smart way to play if you just want to cover yourself with some insurance against the Arsenal clean sheet, if you don't have Raya. So I guess that's my answer to that. If you've got Raya, then start Rodgers. If you don't, then Gabriel. So I imagine that the Arsenal EO will still be quite high this week. And they've got a good chance of a clean sheet. Like, I don't even know if Cunha's going to play or be in the squad or what the deal is there, because there's these rumours he wants out. Are you triple captain in Gameweek 24? No, annoyingly I used it earlier in the season before we had the Liverpool postponement. I wish I hadn't now. I guess that's a lesson for future seasons. Like, there's always new stuff I learn every season. And definitely the new one is save the triple captain. Even though we've got this extra chip, the assistant manager, save your triple captain just in case like you get a postponement like we've ended up with. Because that's going to cost me points. Like, there's going to be lots used. I mean, looking at the poll here, 42% triple captain, 17% assistant manager, 4% other, 38% using no chip in Game Week 24. So yeah, almost half of you are using the triple captain next week. So it's looking like a red arrow in 24. I need to be really lucky with my picks to come off. Tej says, hi Oscar, finally here. Bench Wood, João Pedro or Sarr? I would bench Sarr. Now those three. Start the strikers, start the pen takers. Omid, thanks for the super chat. Message retracted. I didn't see what that said. Nick as well, thanks for your super chat. He says Colwill, Robinson, Milenkovic for Trent, thinking for the future. Out of all of those, I'd probably sell Colwill. Like, he's flagged. Chelsea defence hasn't been great. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't got Trent, he's the priority transfer. Salah aside, like if you haven't got Salah, he's the priority this week. Axel says, how do I write questions? You just did. You just wrote one. Omid says, help Oscar, start 2 of Raul, Ahmad and Rodgers. I would start Raul and Rodgers, I would say. It's pretty close because Ahmad's like great as well. He's playing away at Fulham though. Whereas, you know, Raul's on pens, playing striker, Rodgers is playing home. I'd start Raul and Rodgers personally. Who do you guys reckon is the most transferred in player this week? Do you reckon it's Gakpo, or is there anyone else it could be? Alright, I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to go to the toilet really quick. Sorry about that. I've had 2 teas today, so they went straight through me. Isn't the assistant manager next week? Yeah, it's for next week. Game week 24 is the first week that we get it. So you can't use it yet. Porro or Robinson? I mean, if you've still got Porro at this stage, you've got to be playing him when he's home to Leicester. You have to. As bad as Spurs are in their defence, I feel like you have to play him when he's home to Leicester. What kind of tea? I don't know what you call them, like breakfast tea. It's like PG tips. How strong is the bench boost this week? Bench boost is just basically as strong as your bench. Like, in any week, it makes sense if your bench is extremely strong. But personally, I'm saving it for a double game week. It definitely doesn't wash his hands. They're washed. They are. Look, they're wet. Leslie, thanks for the 3 months. Says bench and Bumo, Semenyo, Wood, Or João Pedro. Come on, Ugandis, he said. Bumo, Semenyo, Wood, and João Pedro. I'd bench Semenyo. Did I miss someone becoming a member earlier? I've just remembered I saw it in the chat and I might have forgot to read it out. And sorry if I did. It was Pranesh. Did I read that out? It was way back. Pranesh, thanks for becoming a member. I think that was it. If you're still here, Pranesh, apologies I missed that earlier. Thanks for becoming a member. Putting them under a tap for 2 seconds isn't washing your hands. Alright, fair play. I didn't wash them then. Alright, let's end that poll on chips and GW23. Yeah, so most transferred in then. Who is it? Oh, Cliver. Almost 600,000 transfers in. And then it's Trent, Gakpo, Wood, Hall, Mateta, Isak, Aina, Rogers. Who's the most sold then? So it's Cliver. Oh, it's Saliba. I guess that's fair enough because he's flagged. Jackson, fair enough. Solanke injured. Rao is surprising. Palmer is even more surprising. Like what? Have anyone here sold Palmer this week? If so, why? Does anyone recognise you in public? Not often. Not often. It does happen sometimes, yeah. It's happened a couple of times when I've been on holiday abroad, which is the craziest times it's happened. I've told those stories before though. Pretty funny the way it happened. Did you make any transfers? No, I'm rolling this week. Unless there's any like leaks or anything that could change that, but let's check. At the moment, I don't think we've had anything. We've got about 45 minutes till the deadline. Let me send a message about Liverpool. So, what? Trent, Gakpo. Who should I ask about? Trent, Gakpo, Kanate, Diaz. Let me check the chat. Is there any other players I should ask about? Simicas. Nunez. Surely you're not buying Nunez. Diaz. Okay, I've said Diaz as well. Alright, I've asked. Jeffrey, thanks for your super chat. Says start Estupinian or Munoz. So Estupinian, home to Everton. Munoz, home to Brentford. Feels like an absolute coin toss that, Jeffrey, if I'm honest. Like, Everton home's a nice fixture, but there is that new manager bounce. Brentford are a better attack who Munoz has got, but Munoz's underlying numbers are better than Estupinian's. Because he plays in wing back. I'd start Munoz. Start Munoz over Estupinian. They said nothing confirmed yet. There's talk of Nunez in for Diaz though. Just talk though, he said, so potentially Nunez in for Diaz, but I'll see if there's anything more nearer the deadline. Start Wissa or Ahmad from Jay. Yeah, I'd struggle with that one as well. That's really close. I mean, Man United is just all over the place right now. I don't trust them. I don't know why I bought Bruno, to be fair, but I'll start Wissa, I would say. Raccoon says, subscribe to FPL Focal. Yeah, if anyone's not subscribed, hit the button. It's completely free, and you can always change your mind after the deadline passes. How about hit subscribe? If you get a green arrow, you keep it. If you don't, unsubscribe after. Fair deal? Rogers or Wissa? Rogers. Raya or Henderson? Raya. Semenyo or João Pedro? João Pedro. Mbumo or Rogers? I'd go Mbumo there, even though he's away. Just because of the set pieces, pens and so on. How do you get your sources regarding... What did that say? Your sources regarding the team lineup. It's just like people out there that are reliable accounts. They get news early. So I don't ask often, to be fair. But when it's a gaming like this, where it could be super helpful for some people, then I ask. And if there is anything, any leaks, whether it's through that guy or through someone else, then I'll put it in the bottom left corner of your screen. You see that little widget that says starts and bench. So anything that we get that's, you know, reliable enough to share, then I'll put it in that corner, bottom left. But yeah, 45 minutes to go still. Ross or Harry on a deserted island? So are you asking if I was stuck on a deserted island and I had to pick one of Ross or Harry to be stuck there with, who would it be? What a question. Who would you pick? If you had to pick one content creator to be stuck on a desert island with, who would it be? Isaac starting apparently. I'm bench boosting, says Josh. Where have you heard that from? Clean sheet odds, please, Oscar. Here they are. None. Yeah, good answer. That's probably the correct answer. Yeah, obviously, if it's any content creator, you go for like a channel, a survival channel. But it's FPL content creators. If I could pick any niche, obviously I'd pick to be stuck there with someone that's a survival expert, because I'm not. What a tangent of a question that was. Some guy you know at the match said he's seen him, but it could be cap, but he's not typically a capper. It's a lot riding on that for you though, if you're bench boosting based on your mate that normally doesn't troll. Hall or Munoz? I would say Hall. Why does Oscar always ignore me? I don't ignore anyone. I just have to pick out messages at random. That's literally what I do. I'll pick them out at random. Obviously, I won't leave any of the super chats unanswered because that's like very generous of those people to do that. And no one has to do that, by the way. Like if we did a whole stream where there was none, that's fine with me. But yeah, I just pick them out at random. I pick random messages out. I could disable. I think you can disable them, but like, why not leave it enabled? You know what I mean? If it's an option and people are willing, I think why not just leave it enabled? What's the FPL decision you're most proud of? Definitely getting to number 1. Definitely getting to number 1. I think I've even got the screenshot on hand. Yeah, I do. Look at that. I've got that framed. Oh my god, wait there, I'll show you. This is so sad. I've got a little shelf in my living room by the TV, and it's got the play button. Well, I got for 100,000 subscribers. And then it's also got that. Oh no, you can't see it. I've also got that screenshot, rank 1. Nice Photoshop. Would you say I should decide to get to number 1? Yeah, I'd recommend it for anyone. Yeah, it's pretty sad getting it framed, but given that now I do FPL full time, I suppose that is a proud moment to frame it. It's not sad, it's fucking epic, bro. Yeah, I mean, it depends who you ask though, right? It depends who you ask. Like, I've got some mates that don't play FPL and they'll call it sad. When my girlfriend was like, what's that? She probably thought it was sad as well and was being polite. Right, sorry, I think I missed a couple of super chats there. Stevie Boy says bench 1 for Palmer Wood. Bench 1, Palmer, Wood, Sarr or Rogers. I definitely wouldn't be benching Palmer this week, even though he's got City. Definitely not. definitely not Stevie. So who would I bench? I think it'd have to be Sarr. Can't be benching Wood in his current form on pens. Rodgers home to West Ham. I think it'll have to be Sarr. It's not great. Obviously, Sarr could do well, but he's the logical one for me. How we doing, BBM? Adam D says Henderson, Flecken, Howson, Mikalenko versus Pickford, Dubravka, Kirkes, Mikalenko on a wild card. Henderson and Flecken leaves me with 0.3 to play with. I definitely wouldn't get Dubravka. Pope's going to be back any day now, so Dubravka's his time's almost up. So yeah, if I was going to pick a combination there, it'd be Henderson and Flecken, yeah. What about Pickford and Fabianski though? Why don't you just go for that? And then you've got a double game at keeper, and you've still got a backup who's currently a keeper that plays. That could change to Fabianski, but I would say Pickford and Fabianski. Adam, you're doubling up on Visser and Mbumo. I like that. I might do the same myself. I'm potentially going to buy Mbumo next week. I'm thinking about going Strand Larsen to Calvert-Lewin, and then maybe Gordon to Mbumo. I don't like how tight this is for money though, I'll tell you that. And then I've got exact money for Raya to Alisson. I might do that. And that gets me to 4 players that double, which is pretty good, I think. Actually, let's do a poll. How many double Gameweek players will you have? So what should we have? 2, 3, 4, 5 plus? I think that makes sense as the options. There's a super chat from someone whose name I cannot pronounce there. But thank you for that. Thank you for your support there. Butter Knight says Captain Isak, Salah, Gordon or Wood. I think it's Salah this week. I mean, this is a projection data from FPL Review, and Salah's actually well ahead this week. He's on 9.1. And then second is Son this week. Then it's Isak. Then Haaland, Gordon, Palmer and Trent. So yeah, again, going back to that Palmer point, like, I definitely wouldn't be benching Palmer. And I definitely wouldn't be selling him either. If you sell Palmer, you're going to regret it. Like, what's he got? 3 goals? 3 goals in the last 6. 37 points in the last 6. Only 5 midfielders have got more over the last 6 game weeks. So, and we only get 5 midfielder slots. So, you know, what's the point in selling him? So, Salah captain for me, Butter Knight. Isak, Vice. I think Isak's definitely a good shout because he's got Southampton. But I think Salah's even better. Home to Ipswich. And Ipswich, they just got battered 6-0 home to City, didn't they? Right, let's have a check for leaks. Nothing at the moment. I'll keep an eye on it though. Right, keep your questions coming. Simon says, Oscar, bench João Pedro, Semenyo or Rodgers? I would bench Semenyo, Simon. He's got the toughest fixture of the 3. João Pedro, home to Everton, he's on pens. Rodgers, home to West Ham, I like that. Could be a few goals in that. Semenyo, home to Forest, like that's... I don't have high hopes for Semenyo, but I said the same the last couple of weeks and he's done well, but I would bench Semenyo. He's the logical one there. Tony Rad says, hi Oscar, has any FPL content creator won FPL overall? Depends how you frame it. Like, no one's won FPL while they were already making videos, if that makes sense. Simon March won FPL, and then he started doing articles for Scout. He doesn't do them anymore, but I think there's been 1 or 2 that have won it and then, you know, start to do a bit of like articles and that sort of thing. Don't think any that I can recall have one FPL and then went on to make videos. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I can't think of any. Definitely none that were making videos and then happened to win FPL. That's not happened either. Like, it's easier said than done to make FPL content. Like, I think you have to have an eye for it. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it, wouldn't they? Chai, didn't he get to number 2? I think he peaked at number 2, which is insane, but he didn't win the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever happen. There'll be ones that make content after. I was only number 1 for 2 weeks. I was number 2 for like 10 weeks, but I was only number 1 for 2. Vidat says start Utara versus Forest or Ndai versus Brighton this week. Utara versus Forest and Ndai versus Brighton. I'd probably go and die. I don't think you're going to get much from either of them, but I'd say and die. Sar or Semenyo, asked Caleb. I'd go Sar over Semenyo. Why no Gakpo? I might get him next week. I'm not ruling it out, but at the moment, I'm leaning towards buying either Alisson or Konate and just going for the reliable minutes. Which is a bit boring, but I think that's a perfectly sound way to attack the double. Oh yeah, so 23% are going to have 2, 41% are going to have 3. That's interesting. So if you're going to have 4 or more next week, then you're going to be above average. So that's a good position to be in. So yeah, 3 double game week players is the most popular one on here. Then it's 29% are going to have 4, 7% 5 plus, 22% just 2. Which Liverpool 3 would you recommend? So for me, Salah and Trent are so clear. And I think like everyone's kind of sweating over that third one. I don't think any of third is like definitively better. So I don't think we have to worry about it too much. Whichever way you go, it's not a big deal. I think Gakpo's good. I think Alisson, Van Dijk, Konate are all great. Luis Diaz has got potential as well, for sure. He's going under the radar. But none of them are like 100% way better than the others. Like, Luis Diaz has had a few hauls this season. He could quite easily just come in and get like a brace in one game and assist the other one. And he outscores Salah. Like, that wouldn't be that surprising. But equally, it could be like 2 low-scoring doubles. They could keep 2 clean sheets, 1-0 and 2-0 wins. And, you know, Alisson and Konate outscore Gakpo and Luis Diaz. It's really like not clear. So I think just going for the minutes is a pretty sound, albeit boring way to attack the double. So that's currently what I'm thinking. Alisson or Konate. Ahmad to Mbumo for free. Yeah, I like that, Peter. I like that. I would do that. Start 2 out of Wood, Diaz and Rogers. I'd go Wood and Diaz, Senor Lump. But keep an eye out in case there's a reliable leak. Like, I asked a guy just now and he said there's murmurs of Darwin in over Diaz. There's a tweet here about Gakpo starting, but I've never heard of the account, so probably making it up. Oh, they're in my leaks list though. That's interesting. I don't know why I wouldn't have added them in there otherwise. I can't remember how they got into my leaks list though, but they're saying Gakpo starts. Yeah, I'll keep an eye. What have we got? Half an hour till deadline? Yeah, 1:30 deadline. So I'll keep an eye out in case there's any more. Jack says, love the content, Oscar. Bench Mbumo or Rogers? I would start Mbumo, Jack. I think again they're pretty close, those two, but he's got the set pieces and pens, so I'd favour Mbumo. Taran says, should I do Munoz to Trent? Yeah, absolutely. If anyone can get to Trent this week, it's worth it. If it's selling Gabriel, then I think it's worth weighing up a bit more. If you could get to Trent another way next week. But yeah, Trent I think is Trent and Salah are like way above the others. Are you rolling? Yeah, I'm rolling this week. I'm gonna roll. So that'll take me up to 3 transfers for the double game week. So it could be like Strand Larsen to DCL, Gordon to Mbumo, and then maybe Raya to Alisson. I mean, or I could go Wood to Calvert-Lewin, but I don't know how I feel about that. Wood to Calvert-Lewin, Gordon to Mbumo, and that leaves me with 1.3 mil on the bank. So then I could do Konate instead. So that lets me keep Raya, which I quite like. The only thing I don't like about Alisson is he's likely to blank in Game Week 29. And what happened? What if Fabianski loses his spot as the #1 keeper? Like a new manager's come in, who knows what could happen? They're not really playing that great still, West Ham. So then if Fabianski loses his spot, I'm going to have no keeper if I buy Alisson. So it's tempting to do that instead and just go for Konate. And that lets me keep the Arsenal double up with Raya, which I think is fine. Obviously, next Game Week 24 is not great because it's City. But I mean, I could play Greaves home to Southampton. And then I'll only have 1 Arsenal defence against City. That's an option. So yeah, I'm not sure which way yet. The downside to this, like, although it sorts me out in goal nicely, the downside is you look at my front 3, Isak, Calvert-Lewin and Strand Larsen. And that's shocking, that is. I'd have 0.6 mil on the bank, so I basically could straight away just sell Calvert-Lewin after the double for João Pedro, something like that. It's not necessarily the end of the world because I've got 5 playable midfielders. So I could do a 4-5-1, I suppose. What's the worst feeling in FPL? Late clean sheet wipeouts are brutal. That sucks. Like if you've got someone that's on for a clean sheet 90th minute and they go and lose it like 93rd or something, that's got to be up there. I mean, technically I suppose a chip failing is even worse. Like if you, like years ago I triple captained Mane and he went off injured like 20 minutes into the double game week. That was probably even worse, and that's like a rare one because you only get the chip once a season, and it's rare that the player flops as well. But yeah, that was probably one of the worst FPL moments ever. Triple captain in 1 point. What was even worse as well was Salah smashed it that week. Yeah, I saw the tweet about Gakpo starting. I'm just waiting to see if another more reliable account shares it. Nothing at the moment. I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, I heard the rumour about the Diaz benching, but we'll see if we get anything in the next, half an hour before the deadline. Sanchez to Alisson. Yeah, I like that, Felix. Despite the whole thing on, potentially not having a keeper if your backup's Fabianski. Oh my God, Tim. Tim with the 50 gifted memberships. Oh my days. Oh my God. Congrats to the 50 people that are getting memberships from Tim. Tim, can I tell them the good news? I was actually speaking to Tim last night. Can I tell him the good news, Tim? Thanks so much, Tim, for the 50. That is insane. Oh my God. Welcome to the 50 new members. Is he in the chat? Did he reply? Oh no, I can't even see his message because if I do Control F, it's all... He said, yeah, you can. So Tim officially just got married. So massive congrats to Tim as well. His wife, this guy's living the dream. I'll tell you what, his wife's stunning. Like he's absolutely living the dream out there. So massive congrats to Tim as well. He just got married. He just tied the knot. What a guy. W Tim. Shout out Tim. Congratulations Tim. Yeah. Congrats again Tim. Very happy for him. I messaged him last night about it. I said I'm so happy for you. Yeah, his wife's stunning as well. He's living the dream, Tim is. Yeah, nice one, Tim. And thanks everyone for sending Tim kind words as well. Yeah, congrats, Tim, tying the knot. Who to bench out of Wood, Rogers, and João Pedro? Probably Rogers, Mindhunter. Start Wood, start João Pedro. Start the pen takers. Keep Jackson or sell? I would sell him if I had him, yeah. I'd sell him. Gakpo looks like an obvious replacement this week. He was rested in the Champions League. He's got Ipswich home, then he's got double, then he's got Wolves home. Yeah, if I still had Jackson, I'd be going to Gakpo. Or if you've already got triple Liverpool, or you want to triple up another way, then Mateta I would go to. Start Rogers or Eze? I'd say Eze, Starboy. Selling Bumo for Gordon this week, asked Rahul. No, definitely not. I'm going the opposite way. Not this week, to be fair. I know he's got Southampton, but I'm looking to go Gordon 2 and Bumo probably next week, Rahul. So, Timmy Trumpet. Flandy with the 33 months as well. Says, hello, boss. I hope you're well. I'm very well, thank you, Flandy. I still can't believe Tim with the 50 gifted. But yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. It's a bit weird having a later deadline. I'm starting to get a bit hungry, actually. Need to have my lunch. It's a bit unusual having these later deadlines. Like, normally by now, it'd be half time of the first game of the game week. So it's a bit odd sitting here still streaming. EO says, bench Palmer for Watkins. Is there no one else you can bench? Surely Palmer and Watkins aren't your two weakest points in the team. I think I'd still rather start Watkins. Sorry, I think I'd still rather start Palmer over Watkins, you know. I think I'd rather bench Watkins and start Palmer, even though it's City away this week. By Cliver or Rogers. Although he's got a couple of rough games, I do think longer term Clivert's better. Like, at least they're 2 home games, right? But look at that after that. After the next 2. And as I say, they are home games at least, so you never know in a home fixture. Southampton, Wolves, Brighton, Spurs, Brentford, Ipswich, West. I might have to double up, you know. I might have to add Clivert, because I've already got Semenyo. Yeah, I think Clivert, Semenyo, really nice picks in a couple of weeks' time. Hi Oscar, how you doing? Yeah, I'm doing well, Casper. Doing very well, thank you. Agraya says, how you feeling about Jacob Murphy captain? Surely not. Surely not. It comes off early like every game though, that's the thing. I know it's Southampton, but still. He basically always comes off for like 60, 70 minutes, doesn't he? Christopher says, Kirkes for that stint. Yeah, good shout. Good shout. But it's not just the attackers, but Kirkes, or if you want to go even cheaper, Howson. Dr. Yazan says, hey Oscar, bench 1, Bruno, Wood, João Pedro and Rogers. Maybe I'm a pen merchant, but I would bench Rogers and start the pen takers. So you start Bruno, you start Wood, start João Pedro. That's what I would do. There's about a 1 in 5 chance any given game for a penalty to be awarded, so like there is a lot of logic in stacking your team up with pen takers, because if there's a 1 in 5 chance, realistically, you could have up to 7 in your starting 11, couldn't you? You could technically have 5 mids and 2 forwards. So like if I go Gordon to Mbeumo next week, I'll have 6. You know, if I ended up doing Semenyo to Kluivert, probably won't do that, but if I did, then I've got 7. You know, and then the odds are on your side if there's a 1 in 5 chance of a penalty in a game. So I'd start the pen takers. It's like a little buff, isn't it? An extra buff with your players every week. Struggling with this game, says, hi mate, another one. Start Rodgers or Elanga. Rodgers over Elanga, I would say. Khaled says, transfer Vardy out for Timber or save the transfer and start Milenkovic with sells in goal already. Not a huge fan of buying Timber, personally. I think White's not that far from return either. So then it's like, what's his minutes going to look like? No, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd rather buy like Van Dijk, Trent, Konate, Liverpool defender, if you're selling Vardy. If you can fit either of those in. Otherwise, just play Milenkovic. Even with the double defence, just do that. Just because Timber's probably not the right way to go. Like, Gabriel's way better. Maybe even with Saliba now. David says, Bruno to Diaz and Kirkes to Trent for -4. Might be better to do it for free next game week. And there was a rumour of Darwin starting over Diaz, but I've not had anything reliable that I've seen anyway. No, I'm just checking, nothing there. There's just rumours though of Darwin starting over Diaz. Yeah, nothing at the moment. Still got 20 minutes till the deadline. For a -4. I don't know if I'd do it for a hit. Can you afford Mbeumo? I feel like Bruno to Mbeumo is better if there's no news. Like if there's a leak that Diaz starts, then I think that's quite nice. But yeah, if there's no news, and I think I'd rather go Mbeumo and then buy a different Liverpool player, whether that's Konate, Alisson in goal, Gakpo. Yeah, don't know, it's tricky. I'm not a massive fan of the Liverpool attackers though, just because they're not 100% nailed. Like they probably start both in the double, but I don't think it's a guarantee that Diaz and Gakpo start. I mean, do they really start all of the next 4? So let's not forget as well, it's Ipswich, and then it's the Champions League, then Game Week 24, and then after Bournemouth, it's FA Cup, League Cup, and then finally it's Everton, which is why it goes from the 1st of February, you can't see it, can you? 1st of February to the 12th. So there's a lot of games in there. And I just think, can we really trust them? I started streaming 115 minutes ago, did I really? Yeah, almost 2 hours, I suppose. We'll keep going until 1:30, and then we'll wrap up. Keep an eye out for leaks though, David. If there's one that Diaz starts, then I think that's fine. Yeah, good move. Camilo, Sanchez, Gabriel Hall, Trent, Salah captain, Ahmad Palmer, Semenyo, Sarr, Wood and Isak, Fabianski, Jackson, Aina and Greaves, 0.5 mil, 1 free transfer, Roll or Jackson to Gakpo. I would do Jackson to Gakpo, yeah. It just makes too much sense. Like, he's out of form. He's playing away at City. Yeah, do it. I think you've got it right there. I can't see anything else that's a better move. Just thinking who you'd bench. Ahmad or Semenyo. Probably start Semenyo. And obviously start Gakpo. I'd definitely start Wood. And Simon says, I came second in my mini league 2 years ago and I won £100. This year the standard has increased and I'm currently stuck in 8th with no movement for 6 game weeks. How can I get an edge on the other players? It's a good question. I think a trap you can fall into is you start paying too much attention to what others in your league are doing. And I think even if it's subconsciously, that can affect what you do. And it can often leave you worse off. Like, I definitely used to do this. I used to play in a mini league against my brother every year. And I used to just, before I started doing FPL content, I would just do the most like reckless stuff just to go different to what he was doing. So I think almost ignore what they're doing and just focus on your team. Keep playing a solid game. And the points will come. I wouldn't worry too much about what they're doing. I think I'd start looking at what they're doing if it was like, you know, Gameweek 35 and you had 30 points to make up. But it's just so early in the season and their teams are still going to be really varied. You know, those 7 players above you. There's going to be so much variance. So there's nothing you can do that would apply to all their teams unless you start going buying crazy differentials. But then what if that crazy differential doesn't come off? Then you're even worse off. So I think honestly, try not to pay too much attention to their teams. Still a long way to go as well, so you can definitely claw it back. Modest Bukowski, thanks for your super chat as well, appreciate that. And says, sell Jackson for who? Money, no issue. 4 free transfers, 1.2 on the bank. You've already got triple Liverpool. You have Pedro and Isak. You're thinking Watkins, Mateta, Vista and Wood. I would go to Mateta if it was me. If I was picking a front 3 right now, it'd be Isak, Mateta, and I'm not sure who the third would be. Maybe Calvert-Lewin because of the double. But I would go to Mateta. Nice game, home to Brentford. Man United away, that's not bad. Everton home, not bad. Fulham, Villa. And his ownership's like 6% as well, so massive upside. Still no leaks or team news. FPL Tony's put something on his Patreon. I'm not subscribed to it, so I don't know what that was. I'm surprised there's not a leaker of the leaks. Do you know what I mean? How is no one out there doing leaks on leaks? Nev says, hey Oscar, I'm loving the content as always. The best by far. Please donate the super chat to Teddy for snacks or treats. I hope you're both doing well. Teddy, did you hear that? I don't know where he is. I'll sort him out. I'll sort him out with a chew after this stream. I gave him a chew just as I went live to keep him busy, and he's done really well. Like, he's not interrupted me at all for the entire almost 2 hours. Appreciate that, Nev. Thanks for your kind words about the content as well. Means a lot. Thank you. João Pedro or Cliver? Asks Andres. João Pedro. Hall versus Munoz. I would say Hall against Southampton. Thoughts on the new FPL graphics? I'm not a big fan of the bench. It looks kind of weird, all squished in. But I'm guessing they've done that because there's going to be a little bit of a space here for managers, right, from next week. Once people start activating assistant manager, I'm guessing that's going to go down here somewhere, right? Or here. But yeah, it's fine. It's not bad. It's grown on me. The overall redesign has grown on me. I used to not like it, but it has grown on me. Like the player card thing. Love your voice. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's rumours of a Gakpo start, but I think it's probably reliable, but I've not seen much of the account before. Nothing back from that guy. Let me find his name, and perhaps you just go through and check his tweets if you want to check if he's reliable. Footy Insight 25. I've got him in my list called leaks, so he must have leaked something at some point, and I went through and checked because I don't tend to just add people to my list of leak accounts, but I've not seen anything else on Liverpool. There were murmurs of Darwin starting over Diaz, but that wasn't confirmed either. Oscar, you always make my day better. That's really nice of you to say that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Camilo says, Jackson to Gakpo then. What about Sanchez or Fabianski? Fabianski. Yeah, it's got to be. Sanchez has got City. Did you say you had one transfer? Yeah. There's more to gain for you than selling Jackson for Gakpo than there is selling a keeper for another one, if you see what I'm saying. Like, there's more upside there. So, as annoying as it is, I would play Fabianski. I mean, Chelsea's fixtures aren't bad from 24, I suppose. So, I'd just bench... Let me check the clean sheet odds. I'd bench Sanchez, personally. Sanchez, 10%. West Ham, 13. I mean, neither are going to keep a clean sheet, let's be honest. But I'd start Fabianski and just ride it out this week. What did I miss? D Lang says, Rodgers or Mbumo for this week. Whoever I don't get this week, I'll get next week. So who's the best for this week? I would say Mbumo is better this week, even though he's got the away fixture and Rodgers doesn't. It's just because of the set pieces and pens and so on. Where's that from, Renato? Are you winding us up? The only thing I had was a Liverpool in the know account said there's rumours of Darwin starting. And then a different account, that Footy Insight, said Gakpo starts. But they tweeted their team and they've got Gakpo. So I guess they're putting their money where their mouth is, but who knows? Just left. It's just the other spot in the front three. Not sure on. I'll keep checking. 10 minutes till deadline. If there's anything, if we get any leaks, I'll put it in the bottom left corner so you'll know straight away. Angelo says Eze or Mbumo. That's so close, that one. I'd say Eze with the home fixture. He's starting to get the returns as well recently, Eze. God, did anyone else have Eze earlier in the season? And he just was shocking and he didn't do anything. He had that one goal, that free kick goal. It was such a quality free kick. And the ref stupidly, for some reason, blew the whistle just before it hit the back of the net. And it would have gone in. But because the ref had blown his whistle, it meant they couldn't give the goal. God, that was so annoying that game week. And I had Bruno earlier in the season as well when he wasn't doing well. But they're both doing well now. Or better now, anyway. So yeah, Eze, Angelo. Dave Hornet says start Semenyo or Calvert-Lewin. I would start Semenyo. I mean, Calvert-Lewin for me, he's just a Game Week 24 player to chuck in. Outside of that, I wouldn't feel comfortable starting DCL. He really would have to hit some form for me to want to start throwing him in every week. Because right now, it's just that double game week, and obviously Leicester, one of the home games. Mark says, start two, please, out of Ahmad, João Pedro, and Raul Jimenez. I would say João Pedro, Mark. I like his fixture a little bit more than the other two. So, yeah, João Pedro. Start him against Everton. What's your transfers? I'm rolling. Oh yeah, let me tweet my team before I forget. Take a screenshot of that. Oh, it's a bit awkward to take a screenshot with this new layout. I have to line it up perfect. There we go. Screenshot done. Let's post that here. There we go, Game Week 23, rolled the transfer. Good luck all, hope you smash it. So, Salah captain, Isaac vice. Right, I'll just do a few more refreshes for leaks before I actually tweet that, just in case. That account again said that Kanate starts. But again, I can't remember like where I found them or how they got into my leaks list, but they must be reliable. They said Kanate starts and Gakpo starts. But who knows? That's all we've got so far. It might be all we get. To answer that question as well, Steve, yeah, that's all we've had. Not 100% reliable. Like, I'm not adding it bottom left corner just in case, but you know, if you need to make a decision based on something, then there's that. They said Kanate and Gakpo starts. I mean, that was very, very predictable, to be fair, wasn't it? Like, Gakpo, I think both of them didn't play in the Champions League, or didn't start. Munoz or Castagna from Benjamin. I would say Munoz, Benjamin. Better fixture, better clean sheet odds, better underlying data, playing more advanced. Everything says Munoz to me. So sorry in advance if Castagna outscores him, but yeah, Munoz. Is Pope back for Newcastle from Lummy? It might not be this week. Hal said he's close. So it might be this week, it might be next. He's close. Match Your Podcast says start Hall or Gabriel or bench Robinson to start both. Good question. Definitely wouldn't start Robinson. Hall or Gabriel though. Probably Hall, given it's Southampton. And he's likely to get you an attack in return, I would say. Like Gabriel, just hoping off a corner, aren't you? Basically. Hall, like the entire game, there's moments where he's up down that left wing. Could get you an assist. Steve says start Hall or Munoz. I'd go Hall as well in both of these. Hall over Munoz, Hall over Gabriel. They really are. That is really like a coin toss though. Hall and Gabriel, Hall and Munoz. But I think Hall is likely to get you something. Likely to keep a clean sheet than Munoz. Hall and Gabriel are probably similar on the clean sheet odds. But Hall, like, yeah, as I say, he's up and down the left wing. I think he's likely to get you an attack in return than Gabriel is off a set piece. Right. No leaks. So if anyone's just joined last minute, I'm rolling the transfer this week. So I'll have 3 for double Gameweek 24. And then I'll decide how to spell them, how to spend them. It might be like Strand Larson to Calvert-Lewin. I'm thinking Gordon to Mbumo, and then maybe Rye to Allison, but I'll sit on it. Got a week to weigh it up before the double actually gets here. Rodgers or Semenyo to start. Rodgers. Alright, let me tweak my team. Nothing. Keep your questions coming. I think I've caught up on Super Chats, haven't I? Did I do marks? Ahmad, João Pedro and Raul. Start 2. Yeah, João Pedro and Raul. Mark. I think I did that. Start De Bruyne or Ahmad? Oh, it's got to be De Bruyne if you've got him. I think De Bruyne's got to go soon as well, though. Right? Surely. You could buy, I don't know, like Mbumo next week. You could go for Luis Diaz next week. Gameweek 24. FPL 1 says 2 free transfers. Mateta and Allison in. Or Gakpo in and keep 2 Arsenal defence and roll the other transfer. Thanks and good luck. Oh, it depends who you're buying, who you're selling FPL 1. I like Allison more, but the thing I'm not sure about is if I buy Allison and Fabianski loses his spot, then I could be keeperless in Gameweek 29. It's not necessarily the end of the world. Like, you could just spend a transfer there or use your free hit. But I would say Mateta and Allison, FPL 1. And I would, although it's a bit boring, I would take the expected minutes of Allison, the reliable minutes. And Mateta's still great. Mateta and Allison, yeah. I would go with that. João Pedro or Rodgers? Oh, I'd say João Pedro. Raul Jimenez or Wood? Wood. Free hit? Nah, save the free hit. Definitely save your free hit. Use it in a double game week or a blank game week later in the season. There'll be a double in obviously 24, maybe tiny chance of 25, 33, game week 33, there'll be a double game week 36, there'll be a double, and then there'll be a few blanks as well. So there'll be other weeks that are better. Jason says Ahmad or Raul. I think I'd go Raul. He's playing home. He's on pens. I'd favour the striker who's on pens and playing home. And Man United are shocking right now. I know Ahmad's been quality, but Palmer or Eze? Palmer, David. Yeah, go. I'd go Raul Jimenez, Jason. Gerald says, Wood, Visser or Cunha for Solanke replacements? Can you not afford Mateta or Gakpo? If not, then I'd say Visser. As mad as that sounds on Wood's form, I'm thinking about selling Wood soon. And then I'll go back to him later in the season. You got like 30 seconds to make the move, but Visser, unless you haven't got Gakpo or Mateta and you can afford them. Mateta or Rodgers? Mateta, Black Hole. Alright, just refresh to make sure I was all good. Yep, looking good. So yeah, I've rolled the transfer. That's what I'm doing this week, and then I'll decide next week how to attack the double. I want to get a third Liverpool player, that's a certainty, and then probably one Everton player, probably Calvert-Lewin. Just got to decide. Got a week to think it over, but let's get Gameweek 23 out of the way first. Right, I think that is the deadline. So, with that in mind, let's do predictions. I'll take slow mode off as well. Oh, there's 2,800 watching. Thanks everyone for swinging by. If you are about to disappear, then do hit subscribe before you go. I've taken slow mode off, so everyone can get their guesses in for the prediction game. Let me find it. Where is it? There. If it will load. Oh, is it down? Might be down. Hello? Oh, there we go. Alright, slow mode is off. Get your guesses in. Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. Scoreline predictions. Slow mode's off, so you can go as fast as you want with the guesses. Botswana says hi. Shout out to Botswana. I've been to Botswana. 1-0. 0-0. We're going for a low scoring one, are we? 1-0. Okay. Brighton versus Everton. Brighton v Everton. Slow mode's off, so you can guess as fast and as frequently as you want. 1-0, 0-0, 2-1, 2-1, 2-0. You reckon Everton don't score? 2-1. People are saying, yeah, 2-0 is the most popular answer. Okay. Liverpool versus Ipswich. What are we saying for that one? Oh, Salah's going to be like 200% EO for this one, isn't he? His ownership's going to be through the roof. What are we saying? 3-0, 4-0, 7-0, 10-0. I'm not putting 10-0 in there. 4-0. Alright. Southampton versus Newcastle. Could be another high scoring one. We'll see. 1 point from their last 7 games, Southampton. What are we saying? Southampton v Newcastle. 2-1 to Newcastle. That's quite conservative. (3-1), 3-0. Okay. Wolves versus Arsenal. Wolves v Arsenal. 3-1. You reckon Wolves get one? A lot of 3-1s. 3? 2-0 to Arsenal. People are backing Wolves to score. Okay. Man City versus Chelsea. Man City v Chelsea. What are we saying for this one? Chelsea 3, City 2. You reckon that? You reckon? Got a Haaland in the background there. 2-2. Crystal Palace versus Brentford then. I'm just checking for leaks still in the background. I know the deadline's passed, but... Oh yeah, look, there it is. Darwin Nunez starts. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. So maybe in place of Diaz. – 3-1 to Brentford. 2-2. Spurs v Leicester City then. Which one? Which way is this going? No, team news is out in 10 minutes, but Darwin starts. I can tell you that 100% now. I mentioned it earlier, but there we go. It's 100%. So maybe in place of Luis Diaz. 2-0 to Spurs. Aston Villa versus West Ham. Just a couple left to do. Aston Villa v West Ham. One all draw. 2-1 to Villa. Alright. Last one. Fulham v Man United. What are we saying? Last one. Check your predictions in the chat. Fulham v United. (2-0 to Fulham. You don't reckon Man United score? 2-1 Fulham win. 2-1, 2-2. 2-2. People are saying 2-1 most. God, that's 2-1. That'd be brutal. So, let me just bring that leak up then. That was while we were doing predictions. Darwin Nunez starts. Saliba, what was that? Saliba's with the squad. And Saliba's with the squad. I think that's everything. The lineups are out in 10 minutes, so obviously you'll get the full team then. But that's it from me. Thank you, as always, everyone, for tuning into this stream. Good luck this game. I hope you smash it. Focal out.